Hi, my name is Stacy Whitten, and I am so excited that you are joining me here today. You can share in my geekiness and hopefully pick up a few tips along the way. So like I said, my name is Stacy Whitten, and I help professionals and business owners leverage their strengths so they can lead a more balanced life. And I do that through various ways. And so I'm going to share with you a formula today that hopefully will help you be able to have more time for coaching, more time for fun in your life, and have that work-life balance when you leverage and implement this strategy. So today we're going to talk about pushing through your fear and leveraging video for your coaching business. Now, before we get started, I want you to know who I am and get to know me a little bit better. So I am born and raised Texan in the United States, and I currently reside in the Dallas, Texas suburbs, if you know where that is. I'm curious where you're from, so go ahead and put it in the chat. Would love to see where you're from. And just a side note, I'm right here with you when you're watching this live. Even though this is recorded, I am there with you in the chat, and I'll be answering your questions along the way. So be sure to type in comments, questions, things that you want to know more about, and I'll be sure to help you as I can. So my background is in human resources and business ownership. More on that in a second. I love hats. I was actually a fashion design major, and I love fashion, and I love wearing hats. Sometimes you'll see me in a baseball cap. Sometimes it's a hat like this or something else. And even in the picture, you'll see me there with a hat. That's when I went to Cabo. Oh, remember that when we could take trips. Well, I was in Cabo before everything happened, December of 2019. I used to go there every year. I plan to go this year at the moment. But I meet a close friend of mine that also owns her own business and has her own digital marketing strategy as well. And what we do before we get there, we plan our year in advance, and then we lay them side by side, and we offer each other feedback and share ideas about digital marketing strategies. So I love being able to take that trip every year. I missed it last year. So I have founded several online businesses, one of which I want to share was called Craft of the Month Club, Inc. And Craft of the Month Club, I sent out monthly craft subscriptions when people signed up. I had my own website. This was in the late 90s. It was in the .com era, if you are familiar with that time period. And it was an exciting time. New technology, people building websites, things of that sort. And so I promoted my website using media. So I was featured in national magazines in the US. I was also featured on talk shows showing craft demos. But my goal, my strategy was to drive people to my website, craftofthemonth.com at the time. And that was how I got people to subscribe and then ultimately increase my revenue. So time has passed a lot since then. Things have evolved. We have social media now. And some people don't even have a website when they're building their business. And you can do that. And when I talk through some things today, I'm going to say that a couple of times. You don't have to have a website. Don't let that hold you back. But now we have Facebook. And as soon as it was launched, man, I was there. I was on it. LinkedIn, as soon as it launched, I got on there as soon as I found out about it and just grew my following in both places. So Instagram, same thing. It's important that just as things evolve, you know what works for you and you show up there. So Craft of the Month Club was my first experience with an online business, and it's evolved since then, and I've owned multiple businesses online as well. So as you know, if you're a coach and you listen for those high pitches in my voice, the fast talking, you know that I am excited about technology and I just geek out on digital marketing. So what are we going to talk about today? I want to share with you how you can reach more clients by increasing your audience size and visibility on social media platforms. This is not so you can just be out there, but this is so you can fill your pipeline and increase your revenue. Then we want to talk about leveraging video. Hitting that record or go live button and overcoming your fears with video and just feeling more confident when you're in front of the camera. Next, I want to show you my repurpose formula. There's 7 steps to it. And this is going to help you save time. You're going to create multiple pieces of content and be able to leverage that in 30 minutes or less a week. So, quick disclaimer. Field of Dreams. Some of you may be familiar with it, especially recently since they had a landmark anniversary and we had a baseball game around it. It was pretty cool. But Field of Dreams has a line in it. Build it, they will come. Well, I've heard people launch websites and say, I built it, now what do I do? They're expecting more activity out of it. Here's the thing. You can build it, but then you have to have the courage to go beyond that. You have to do more. You have to have a strategy behind it with confidence that puts yourself out there that's going to help you build it so they will come. So just because you have that Facebook page, just because you have that website, just because you have an Instagram account, doesn't mean you're going to get that revenue, doesn't mean you're going to build that pipeline. You have to leverage it, build a strategy around it, and then build it, they will come. So keeping that in mind, we're going to start here. Who is your audience? You need to know your audience. You need to know who you want to serve. You need to know who your ideal client is. Now, what I mean by that is this. You need to know what makes them tick. What do they get excited about? What problems are you going to solve for them? Where do they go on vacation? What kind of cars do they drive? What is their job or their career? Do they have kids? Are they empty nesters? Are they retired? Are they millennials? What does their family structure look like? What is their income? What books do they read? What TV shows would they watch? You want to know who your audience is. You also want to make sure you want to serve that audience, right? Because if you don't get excited about serving that audience, then you might not be as productive as you want to be. So know who your ideal client is and be familiar with that. You also want to know what makes you unique so you can connect to your audience. So why is it they should connect with you? What makes you different? For me, when I answer this question, people know that I'm creative. They know what solutions I can offer. They know what I'm about. They know there's a faith component to me. They know that that's important to me. And I'll tell you more about this in a minute as we continue. But there is a uniqueness to me that's going to be different from you. And you want to know what that uniqueness is so you can attract your client. You want to know what you're offering. What solutions do you provide? How do you help your client? And what action do you want your audience to take ultimately? Because you want to take them on this path and you need to know what you're offering. What is that end result that you're looking for? Is it a program? Is it a coaching program? Is it something that might be just a book, or it might be them downloading a free offer? Know the path that you're going to take them on, and then know what that looks like as the end result and how you're going to generate revenue. You also want to build that know, like, trust factor. Now, I know some of you have probably heard of this before. I get that. I want you to kind of look at it from this perspective. So the know, like, trust factor is about the journey that a person takes when they get to know you. And you are your brand. Remember that. You are your brand. Then as they get to know you, they're going to start to like you and your brand. Then where you really want to go is where you can build that mutual trust, especially where they can trust you with whatever you're offering. And that takes time. And sometimes you just have to be willing to put yourself out there a few times in order for that know, like, trust factor to develop. So how do you develop the know, like, trust factor? Well, I call these content buckets. Basically, they're content categories. But I'm a very visual person, so I look at it as buckets. So you're building this know, like, trust factor, and you're going to have different content buckets. I'm going to share some examples with you. Yours might look different, and that's fine, but this will kind of get your brain thinking and brainstorming about what your content might look like. So personal. Personal is going to look like something different for everyone. And you have to set your own boundaries of what personal looks like. So for me, my audience knows that I'm married. They know I have a daughter. Some of them have watched her grow up from middle school to 20-something. They know that I have a dog named Lulu. They have followed my daughter and I on different trips, and sometimes my husband, and I'll come back to that in a second. But for my daughter, they know that she sings, that she has a beautiful voice. They've seen her recordings. They know that when she graduated from high school, got her bachelor's, and recently got her master's degree. They know when I take my dog Lulu on a walk. And as far as travel goes, I'm careful about that because if my husband and I travel together, I don't post pictures until later. If I post pictures, sometimes honestly I'll miss that step, but I'll take a lot of pictures. If my daughter and I are traveling and my husband stays at home, we'll sometimes post pictures of that. But for safety reasons, I'm just careful about the timing of things. As if my daughter was staying home, I would never, and she was here with someone in the house as she was growing up, I would never post pictures of us traveling until after we got back, just for safety reasons. So I just think through things like that. My husband's a very private person also, so I'm limited on what I post about him. I want to respect that and honor that, just as I want to honor my daughter's privacy as well. So these are all personal things that you just have to establish what it looks like for you. But it's important to do that so they know who you are. Remember, you're developing that know, like, trust factor. Educating provides you the opportunity to offer expertise. It establishes that you're the expert in that certain field. So I do a lot of career coaching, and what someone might need is LinkedIn. They need to know about LinkedIn. So what I do with LinkedIn is I have a LinkedIn checklist. So I might educate them on a post about tips and tricks for LinkedIn. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to offer a LinkedIn checklist for a free download on a post. I might also offer opportunities for a discovery session or strategy session to give them a taste of what coaching looks like. Regardless of what I'm offering, and I might also sell something here. I only do this type of post once a week because you've probably seen those posts daily from people, sometimes hourly, about all these promotion things that you just get tired of seeing that person on social media. I don't want to be that person. So for me, what works is just posting once a week about a promotion or a solution or an offer. But I can still educate and offer tips and tricks in different posts, either through video or graphics. Testimonials. Testimonials are golden. Testimonials allow somebody else to hear what you can do. Somebody else is telling the story. So you can do video testimonials, which is great. One thing that I like to do is take, at the end of a program, I will send a survey out, and I'll have several open-ended questions. And I intentionally ask a couple of open-ended questions that I could combine those two answers. They're my client's words. I combine those answers and I send it to them. And I ask, may I use this as your testimonial? And sometimes they'll tweak it a little bit. Sometimes they'll say no. Sometimes they'll say yes, but don't use my name. So in that case, we talk about what can I use? Can I say you're a accounting professional or you're an engineer or whatever the case may be. So it's still very broad and no one knows that I'm working with them. But it's up to them. That piece is up to them. Sometimes if one of my clients decides they want to start a business, this is a great opportunity that they utilize to promote their business. What they'll do is they'll actually let me use their Facebook page or their website, and I'll put it with it. It promotes them and it promotes what I can offer and help out more people. So testimonials are wonderful. And just for fun would be like, let's see, in the US, we have Thanksgiving coming up. Do you prefer pumpkin pie or apple pie? Simple question. You would be amazed at how many responses you get. You want those comments, right? And I'm going to explain why in a second. But all of these various content pieces, buckets, you can leverage, but you need to use multiple types of content. So why? Number one, it gets them to see different versions of you. It gets them to see a personal side of you. It gets them to see what your expertise is. It gets to see a fun side. So it develops that know, like, trust factor. Then it increases your engagement so you can leverage the algorithm. Now, the algorithm, every platform has one. They change frequently, but this is what you need to think of it as. You want to get more people to see your news feed so they'll engage. You want to show up in the people's news feeds so they will engage and you'll increase your reach. They'll see what you're offering. They'll see who you are. They'll build that know, like, trust factor with you. In order to do that, you need all the content buckets. With engagement, there's typically 3 levels of engagement. Number 1, and it's golden. This is what you want ultimately. Sharing. Think of it as sharing is caring. Sounds corny, but it works. So you want people to share your content. You want people to comment on your content. You also likes, loves, and all of that. That's good too. Sharing is best, commenting is next, and then the likes. Very, very important to kind of incorporate that into your strategy. So what happens is say I post the Thanksgiving post, which pie do you like better? Give them a choice. They're going to comment. That's going to help me show up in more news feeds when I start to promote a launch later, as long as I'm showing up consistently. I show a picture of my dog. You'd be amazed at how many comments and likes I get on that. Amazing. Show a picture of a pet and you'll go a long way. Leverage it. So that's going to help you with launches. It's going to help you reach more people and show up more in people's news feeds. So I want you to answer a question for me. In the chat, where is your business on social media? Where do you spend your time on your business on social media platforms? Maybe multiple. Put it in the chat. Is it Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Pinterest? Name your platform. And if you have multiple, go for it. Now, I want to talk about this for a minute. So, thinking about where your audience is. Are they on Facebook? Are they on Instagram? Are they on Twitter? Are they on LinkedIn, YouTube, Pinterest? Where are they on social media? Where do they spend time on social media? When they're sitting on the couch watching TV and just have their phone in front of them, where are they scrolling? Where are they? When they're picking up their kid, what are they in the carpool line at school? Where are they scrolling while they're waiting? When they're at a restaurant waiting for food, you've seen them all. You've seen people pull out their phones. Where are they scrolling? Where are they looking? Where are they reading? A lot of times I hear my clients tell me that, oh, they're on LinkedIn. Are they though? In their downtime? Are they on LinkedIn? LinkedIn is a great platform. Like I said, I've been there since the beginning. Love LinkedIn. I use it daily for business. Some of my audience is there. But where are they spending their downtime? So now what I want you to do is answer this question. Where is your audience really scrolling on social media? And as you put your answer in the chat, I want you to think about what your previous answer was about where your business is on social media. So where is your audience really scrolling on social media? So as you do that, and put your answer in the chat, I want to talk about metrics. So at the end here, what I'm going to ask you to do is to pick a platform. But you have to know what platform, you have to know your starting point. Just like we tell our clients when they're reaching a goal, you need to know where you're starting before you can go forward, right? So to increase your audience size on a platform, you need to know your starting point. The great thing about social media is it helps you do that. The metrics are absolutely key. So on Instagram, if you use Instagram, you might have a personal profile, which is fine. But if you make it an Instagram for business, there's also an Instagram for influencer. I recommend Instagram for business. All you do is go to your profile and you change it. Instagram for business gives you tons of information. So not only who follows you and things like that you can get on a personal account, but it also tells you what time of day are people engaging on your profile? What is the reach? What are your top posts? It's going to help you see what's working and what's not working. So Instagram for business will help you with your metrics if you choose that platform. Facebook. Now, if you're on Facebook, a lot of people make this big mistake of using Facebook personal pages. Personal pages are just your regular profile on Facebook. So my personal profile on Facebook has my full name in it and people friend me there. Facebook business pages have metrics. And not only are the metrics there where people like your page, when you use your personal page for business, that violates Facebook's terms of service. So right there is a good reason, because you don't want to be put in Facebook jail. So right there is a great reason to be able to have a Facebook page. So you'll be able to see the metrics, see where people are engaging, what time they're engaging, that type of thing. Very important. So you might be saying, well, Stacey, I don't have a business page right now, and I don't have anyone following me. If I start a page, I have all these people that are my friends on Facebook, but I don't have a following on a business page. Well, there's a way around that. Start building the following, and one way you can do that is share your post from Facebook pages. You want to share your post from Facebook pages. Then you're increasing your engagement, right? Sharing is caring. So you're doing that first step. You can also ask people, invite them to like your page, especially those people that know you well, already know, like, trust you. All right. LinkedIn is another great platform, and it does have metrics. Your personal profile has a lot of metrics there. You can have a business page. There's some metrics there. LinkedIn is just a little bit different beast when it comes to business. I see a lot of people doing well just using a LinkedIn profile for business. I have a paid account. I've been locked into a paid account rate for many years, and I don't want to give it up. So I'm able to see a lot of different metrics on my LinkedIn profile. So that's another place as well. The idea here is to be able just to see how you're doing. So why is video important? Well, several reasons. Video is, before we dive into that, I want to ask you this question. Do you use video on social media, whether it's recorded or live? Put yes or no in the chat. And then if you put yes, go ahead and tell me which platform. And if you're live or recorded, would love to know. Just put it in the chat. So why do videos help businesses so much? There's so many different ways. But it does help businesses increase their sales, their traffic, their brand awareness, which remember is you, and conversion rates. So it makes sense that brand awareness increases, remember, because we're talking about the know, like, trust factor. You're able to be live, embrace imperfection, be authentic, and look straight at them. You're building your brand awareness right there. How cool is that? With video, they get to know you that way. So how else does this help you? More qualified leads, because remember that brand awareness piece, you're building the know, like, trust factor. They already like you. You're there. You're going to have more qualified leads. Then 85% of people say videos help them connect with brands more effectively. Connection. Coaching is all about connection. Video allows you to connect with your audience on a higher level. It opens the door for them to see you and get to know you better. Again, that know, like, trust factor. Now, I'm curious about this one. 44% of people are more likely to buy after watching a video about a subject. Now, let's broaden video more than just social media. Let's look at video as webinars, Zooms. Maybe you've watched a YouTube on a product. Maybe you've watched something on a website, a video on a website about a service or a product. So I'm curious, have you ever bought anything after watching a video or series of videos? I have. And I contribute that to my business success. So in the chat, yes or no, have you bought anything after watching videos? It might be a gadget. It might be something for the kitchen or garage or yard. It might be something for your business, like a program or a book. I've bought several programs. I've joined several masterminds that way. I believe in the power of coaching and believe in personal development. So I have definitely watched videos and bought from that regard. I know my husband has bought a bunch of gadgets watching videos. So I probably have too. I'm more about the program, so I would probably have to think about that one about gadgets. But go ahead and put yes or no. And if yes, share what it is that you purchased after watching videos. I'm curious. Now this one, 93% of millennials watch how-to videos on YouTube. 93%. So if you are targeting millennials, are you on YouTube? Are you doing how-to videos? Are you on Facebook or Instagram doing videos targeting millennials? Think about that. Remember, millennials now, they are older. They're not in school anymore, not in high school anymore. They might be working on their master's or sometimes bachelor's, but they have disposable income now. So, how are you targeting them? Are you using video? Bottom line is video is king and you need to be using it. So, live videos. You can do a live video on Facebook, on Instagram, YouTube. LinkedIn right now, the way that they are doing it is you have to complete an application, then there's a waiting process, you'll probably have to complete the application again, and so on and so on. You need to build up your following on the other platforms first before you can have that LinkedIn approval, but you can upload videos to LinkedIn regardless. So, which is better, live or recorded? In my humble opinion, live is better, and here's why. Number one, remember I was talking about leveraging the algorithm on different platforms. If you're live, it's going to increase your viewership, especially on Facebook. You're going to be able to have more views on a Facebook Live. You can test it and try it out. It also, that's the back end. The front end, people watching the video, they're going to see an authentic you, the imperfect human that you are, that I am. They're going to relate to you more because you're not perfect. There is a place for recorded video, and that is more like if you're doing a launch, you're going to have a lot of live videos out there, but you're going to also incorporate some recorded videos, especially if you're using a teleprompter or if you're reading from a script. You want it to be natural, of course, and edited, but it's going to be more of a sales approach. But you need all this other stuff so it helps that sales video. And that's a whole different animal that we're not going to talk about today. So that's for a different day. But when you're doing live, you're just going to connect with your audience more. And don't expect perfection in the beginning. That's okay. So live is great. Recording is good. So what keeps you from hitting that record button? Put it in the chat. I want to know, what is it that keeps you from hitting the live or the record button? Either one. And if you're already recording, what keeps you from hitting the live? Put it in the chat. Love to know. I'm going to share with you some responses I've heard in the past when I have shared some of this information. One is, no one will show up for my video. I don't have a following. No one's going to show up. Well, is that a bad thing? Let's talk about mindset here. What are the advantages if no one shows up? Well, it's good practice, right? It can help you practice and be able to get more familiar with the platform. And Facebook Lives live on. So just because no one shows up for your live in that moment and time doesn't mean 12 hours from now they're not going to see your video. Remember, you're leveraging things here. You're leveraging your buckets of content. So if you leverage those buckets, you're going to be able to have more people show up to see your lives. But in the beginning, that's okay if no one shows up. I'm not a video professional. Good news, you don't have to be, right? All you need is this, your phone. That's a great starting point. I'm not ready to do video. As a coach, if your client told you, I'm not ready to do X, in the chat, what question would you ask them at that point? What powerful question would you ask them? Put it in the chat. I'm not ready to do X. One of the questions I might ask, what does ready look like? Another question, how is not being ready serving you? So I want you to think about this And I want you to ask yourself the question you're asking or you're putting in the chat there, and those two questions as well. Technology issues. Well, wonderful thing about skills, you can learn them. And here's a pro tip when you're not such a pro yet, that's okay. To learn how to do a Facebook Live, which is, I think, a great place to start. A Facebook Live, make your own private group that no one has access to, then go live there. See all the buttons you need to push, which is not that big of a deal. See how you set it up. Again, not that big of a deal. And just practice there so you have that opportunity to be more prepared and feel more prepared and more confident. So just set up that private Facebook group. You might even try going ahead and having someone else come into the group and critique it, or they can practice too, and y'all can offer each other critiques. Another reason is time. I don't have time to do this. Well, you kind of can't afford not to have time, because what I'm about to show you will help you save time in your social media strategy. So what if you don't hit record or you don't go live? Here's the thing. You became a coach for a reason. You have a message, a powerful message that's going to help someone. You became a coach because you were called to be a coach. You have a passion. You need to be able to share that message, share that passion, and be able to help your audience. You need to build your audience and you need to reach more people with your message. If you don't hit record or you don't go live, you won't have that opportunity, and you're missing out on your audience. You're missing out, and people will be missing out on your message. You have something valuable to share. So here are some of the benefits of video. It builds the know, like, trust factor. It makes that connection. It educates. It helps people to find out what your expertise is. You can seed your programs and your successes in your messages, and you can reach more people and build your audience and ultimately increase your revenue. And you can save more time on your social media strategy. So you just have to hit record. It's time for you to share this knowledge, to have the courage, put yourself out there. You have a message the world needs to hear. You can learn the technology and embrace being authentic in that imperfection. It's a great thing. That's why so many people are doing well with video, and you can too. There's room for you to use video out there. You're going to gain more time back so you can focus on your clients. You're going to gain more time by creating video and repurposing, because this 7-step formula to repurpose is going to help you. So how can you repurpose video? First of all, you hit the go live button or record. You create or download a transcript. I recommend you download a transcript. And I'm going to give you some sources here, but I have a repurpose video guide that you can download. You'll see the link in a few minutes. And you can download this repurpose guide. It's going to talk you through these steps, and you'll be able to see the tools I'm about to talk about. Temi.com, TEMI.com is a great resource for transcripts, and it's not that expensive. Rev.com, REV.com also offers that. Then once you go live or record, you download the transcript, you edit, and you create multiple short videos. So you're going to slice and dice this long video, whether it's 10 minutes, 15 minutes. You can work your way up to 30-minute video in step 1. Then you'll slice and dice it and make multiple short videos. Then you can create graphics. You go through that transcript, you highlight golden nuggets that you said, you'll be surprised. You can edit it and tweak it along the way, and it'll give you some ideas for content. And you can also use that transcript. You can cut and paste things and use it for your vlogs or blogs. You can also use it in the copy on your post on social media. It's already written there for you. You might have to make some tweaks, remove the so's and the ums. It's right there for you. You've done the work. You've done the video and you've done the transcript. Then you're going to post. Ultimate goal is to post across multiple platforms, your videos and your graphics. More advanced, you can create a YouTube channel. If you're doing an intentional channel to promote, there are some behind the scenes things you need to learn about that, but you can always upload your longer video and your shorter video as a series. Create podcasts. You basically strip the audio and have a podcast. The first step is to go live or hit record. You know which one I like better, and then post across multiple platforms. So the multiple platforms piece, I'm going to break this down for you in a couple of graphics, but what I want you, this is all in the repurpose video guide. So just kind of focus on what I'm saying here rather than taking notes, and you'll have that source here in a minute. But you'll want to be able to, don't get overwhelmed by this. I encourage you to pick one platform and grow from there. So I'm going to kind of break it down on how examples of how you can post the content. If you have a website, don't need a website, but if you have a website, you can take that 30-minute, 15-minute, 10-minute, whatever video. There's a vlog right there. You upload it to YouTube. You put the link on your website and go through the back end of your website, and you're able to have a vlog on your video with that link. A blog, you have the transcript, edit it, make it a blog post. One thing that I find is I send my video and my transcript to one of my VAs. She has my voice in the transcript and the video, and she slices and dices all this for me and creates the content. I first did this myself before I gave it to her. You could do either way. It depends on where you are in your business. So Facebook, there's 16 pieces of content right here. You can slice and dice, and over a 30-day time period, upload 1-minute video clips. You'll have 10 graphics with your words of wisdom. You can make a slideshow with your graphics. I use canva.com for my graphics, and my assistant does as well. Long video, you can video when you do ads is less expensive. You get more bang for your buck on Facebook. So you can boost your post if you want to, that Facebook Live or the recording, and you'll get more bang for your buck for a minimal price, minimal cost. That is a little bit more advanced, but that is something you can do. Instagram, same thing, 16 pieces of content right there. Remember, Instagram has posts, stories, and TV. Twitter, I'm not real active on Twitter, but I do share some content. I don't really engage on Twitter, but again, you can share these pieces of content from that one video on Twitter. Pinterest, same thing. YouTube, again, you can have a video series. If you have an email list, you can send one video per day or per week if you're doing a video series, because you've already created those 5 sliced and diced videos from the one video. There's so many things you can do with this. LinkedIn is a little bit different beast. You have articles as an option, so you can upload the longer video as a vlog. You do video series and articles. You can also edit your transcript and make an article post. And then, of course, you can do what's in the news feed with posts and videos. And, of course, that more advanced piece of the podcast. The idea here is to keep it simple and just start. Pick one platform. Even if you're on multiple platforms, just pick one platform to start with and go for it. Share multiple pieces of content. Make that video, slice and dice, get the transcript. Experiment with it for 30 to 60 days. Watch your metrics. See your following. See what's happening in your reach. Give it time and you're going to see things increase. Then when you do multiple platforms, it's going to get even better. So I hope you've been putting your questions in the comments. I'm going to be here with you and looking at those. I'll answer your questions as I can. I encourage you to download this repurposed video guide at stacywitten.com/converge 2021. And you can get all of what I just explained to you there about the 7 steps and the tools that I use. You can also feel free to reach out. You have my contact information if you have a question or something you want to explore a little bit further. Happy to talk with you. But for now, I encourage you to take that first step. Just hit record or go live. Experiment with it. Slice and dice, get that transcript, see what happens. Have the courage to step outside your comfort zone. Get in there, roll up your sleeves, and see how this works. It's amazing. I've been using it for over 2 years now, and it's amazing what's happened. So for now, I'm going to say goodbye. Hope to see you soon. Enjoy the rest of Converge. Thank you so much.